Welcome, everybody. Bang. Look, like I said, after we collapse midweek, I am not going to give any energy to this club when they don't give me the energy back. Period. End of story. You want to see excited, TJ? Let's see us beat Sevilla on Wednesday. Until then, you're going to see pissed off TJ, because that's what I am. Newcastle 1, bigger fish to fry, FC 0. I am absolutely disgusted, disappointed with all aspects of that game. We're going to get into it. I mean, I don't want to just talk about the players. I want to talk about the manager. I want to talk about the refs. I want to talk about certain midfielders on Newcastle that should have gotten a red in the first half. I want to talk about it all. But first, big up the chat. I see we got 9 inside. There are a ton of people streaming right now, guys. So thank you for coming to TJ Warren TV and hanging out with us for this delayed match reaction. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get to it. Let's see how my co-hosts are doing. Connor, let's start with you. How you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm a bit cooled off from yesterday. I'm quite glad we didn't actually do a stream yesterday, because even though we were all busy, but like I needed just a day just to really collect my thoughts. And it was a crazy game. Like, away from the controversies, that was a crazy game, i.e. physical, very tough game. I didn't take St James's Park even before the game with no joke. I didn't take it as an easy game, as a free hit, as some people call it. It was going to be a hard game, and them fans, they are devoted to that club. The noise that they make, it is crazy. Wow. And big respect to them. And at the end of the day, they got the win in it, and it is what it is. I'm sure we'll go into depth later about all the decisions and stuff. I'll personally just quickly give a quick insight, like quick preview to it. I've had a look at it. I've had a day to think in it. BN Sports, they're the guys with the technology. Back when we had it at the World Cup, the goal, unfortunately, was in. The ball was in when Murphy had it, Jacob Murphy. Unfortunately, by the millisecond, just tiny margins, man. And the Joel Linton push on Gabriel, I think that's a bit overdone by Gabriel, in my opinion. In the end of the day, they got the goal. But listen, before we go to Dow, I just want to say, even though the ref, and we'll go into more of it later, made really shit decisions, we were really shit yesterday, guys. We were shit. Once again. Especially going defensively, by what happened with the goal, we were actually very solid. But attacking, once again, we're let down. And we'll get into it in player ratings, I'm sure. But there's if now is not a time to say plan for January and buy a striker that scores goals, I don't know what is, guys. I don't know what is. But big up to you two, and I hope you two are well as well. And I hope everyone in the chat's good as well. It wasn't fun last night to be an Arsenal fan, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. Dal, how you doing, brother? You good?
I'm a lot like Connor. I'm calmed down after yesterday. Obviously, some of my voice messages in our IG group were a little above and beyond, but yeah, I've calmed down, come down to reality, watched highlights of the game on 2 or 3 separate, YouTube channels, showing different views, showing different parts of the game. I wasn't going to waste my time watching it, but overall, I just think the game was dire on both sides. Nobody had any outlets. The game was fought in the midfield, but other than that, we didn't show much. So I know we're going to get into it, but I'm not optimistic at all for the rest of the season. And so I'm hoping to get that back. But I see everybody in the chat: TJ and Connor, our friends, Jaminho, Gunnar, ER, Carl, Hendon, AJ. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us today. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it. And at the end of the day, I agree with Gunnar ER here. VAR or no VAR, we had one shot on target.
Right.
One. And you can play all the possession ball in the world. We were in charge of that game for a majority of it. And that's why I agree with Connor. that we have to get a striker. We have to get a striker that knows how to position themselves in the box. We have to get a striker with some pace and knows how to make forward runs. We do not have that right now, period. Eddie Nketiah, he's done. He's done at this club.
TJ, whenever you want to, I'm ready to rant, bro. Obviously, let you guys go, but I'm ready to fire.
Don't want to see him. No, I'm going to let you go off here in 2 minutes, but I don't want to see him again. I don't want to see him again. I don't want anybody to talk to me about him. I am just going to say fraud that wears the 14 shirt. Like whenever we're doing starting lineups, I'm not saying his name anymore. I'm done with Eddie Murphy and Nketiah. I'm done, guys. I'm done. He can go to Hollywood, hang out with Kim Kardashian since he likes hanging out with her, and he can freaking be in Beverly Hills top 4. Like, I'm done. I'm done with this guy. Period. Put Havertz in at number 9. I'm done with this guy. Period. End of story. Yeah, no VAR excuses. Again, look, guys, we're gonna get far into this, but look, you are not going to. I will say that the VAR was questionable, but I'm not. This is the last time I'm going to bring it up all week. I'm not blaming VAR for that loss. Period. End of story. We need to learn to finish. We need to learn to hit the net. We could not hit water if we fell out of a boat the way that we're playing right now. Period. No more excuses from this team. No more excuses from this manager, which, by the way, shameful press conference after the game. Shameful. How dare you go on and make excuses and blame VAR and blame the refs after putting in a performance like that? Even if Guimaraes got sent off, even if there were more calls that went our way, it wouldn't make a difference if you can't hit the fucking net. Period.
Right.
And I'll concede. I'll toss it over to Connor now and let him have his turn. But the more I talk about it, the angrier I get again, because this is absolutely shambolic, the way that this team played and the excuses that we're seeing in front of the media. But go ahead, Connor.
I think yesterday is very much a proven factor that we have not changed. You know, a lot of people have said, you know, Arteta has changed the club, has brought it back. What's he brought back? I mean, I get last season, you could probably see that was probably the best Arsenal we've seen in a very long time. But that isn't Arsenal this season. That team is nothing like what it was this season. No, it's the same players, but it is nothing like it was. So much wrong, man. Eddie Nketiah, I'll go straight into it. Shouldn't be here. Just shouldn't be here whatsoever, at all. This is the pinnacle of why players get overhyped. 1 hat-trick, fair play, against a championship side. And no disrespect, they're getting relegated. A championship side. But here we are. We're sitting here and we're just saying, listen, if he does it, keeps it going, we'll respect it. But we have eyes. And so do the guys in chat. Not good enough. 100 bags a week. 100 bags a week. We talk about 14s. We talk about Henry. Let alone just talk about Aubameyang. At least Aubameyang scored goals consistently. You know? Theo Walcott, 100+ goals for the club. This guy scored 30, 34, 36, and he's a striker. And he's been here since, well, no, I know he's been Hale, but I mean, first team, he's played about 120 to 130 games. 30-something goals. He's not good enough. No attacking prowess. And I'm not just going to go for Eddie because there's a lot more people. Bukayo Saka. Where is this guy gone?
Dude, somebody needs to put this kid on a freaking milk carton or something.
Where has he gone, TJ? This is meant to be
missing.
Our star player. This is meant to be the future of Arsenal. Where has he gone? And maybe it's down to his previous injury. We were overplaying him. He's not the player he was. But now I'm worried, TJ, that we've just fucked our attack. Because that means we've now got to go look for a right winger. As much as I do like Nelson, I do think he puts in the shift. He's not good enough, and he's not better than Saka. But Saka's not putting in the shifts. I know Martinelli had our one on target yesterday. On target shot yesterday, sorry. It won. But still, invisible. Nothing. Havertz. We'll give it to him. I think that was the most creative game he had in an Arsenal shirt, but it's still not good enough. He done nothing. But at least I saw before he went absolute AWOL, he was actually doing a couple things, and I thought, oh, okay, right. Is he actually going to try today? Until he starts putting in them tackles, and I thought, no, here he comes again. He's back. Jorginho, captain's armband. What? Captain's armband. I wasn't even alive to see the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s. So I know how pissed off people who watched it then are pissed off now. But even just sitting here now, Jorginho, captain of Arsenal. What the hell? Declan Rice, one of the only two players, in my opinion, that can walk off with his head held high. Damn reason why we bought this player. And I don't want to hear nothing about 100 million waste of money. The reason that we have control in this midfield at least is because of Declan Rice. And he is worth all that money that we bought for him. So respect to him. Ben White, I'll talk about Ben White in a minute, actually. Saliba, I think, even though this rating Gabriel gave him higher, I thought Saliba was the better defender on the night. Again, another player that I think can walk off with his head held high. I will say, though, for the goal went missing. So did Gabriel. Gabriel's going back to his usual ways of making errors. Bozo Gene, as people call him. And I want him to stop that, because he does this now and then. He goes back and forth. And Tomiyasu and I'll get into the fullbacks actually now. And David Raya, I still think he's better than Ramsdale, and it's just a bad day for him in all honesty. But I don't think he had much to do. I want to quickly say, and I want to get onto the manager quickly. Last thing, because I know Dad wants to speak. Our tactics are fucked. They're shit. They're awful. The players have no idea what they're playing. Tomiyasu went into an inverted role yesterday, and I saw that and I thought, here we go. He's now getting him on it. Tomiyasu isn't an inverted fullback. He's an overlapping fullback. He goes attacking. He doesn't go into the midfield like Zinchenko does. It's two different players. Zinchenko isn't an inverted midfielder. He's a CDM. That is his role. That is his footballing position. But Arteta wants to fit in other players, and that's why he puts him at left back and makes him inverted. It's because he fucks everything up and messes everything around, right? We are playing a different system. Well, no, we need to play a different system now because teams have us locked to the fucking key. It's the same thing against every opposition in every single game. Saka and Martinelli get marked by two players every time. Fact. Apart from Sheffield United because they had a different system for some reason. But every game practically, even in Europe, these two are locked off. So they can't do nothing in the game. They have no space, nothing. Teams have found us out. Also, this inverted bollocks has now affected Ben White and Tomiyasu or Zinchenko when they're playing. There's no creativity down the fullbacks. We're now playing such a narrow system. We're not widening the pitch enough. And because we're playing such a narrow system, opposition teams are playing low block. They're keeping their defence close together, so we can't break them down and we can't get past them. Same shit every week. I guarantee it will be the same at Sevilla, and I guarantee you it will be against Burnley. They'll do the exact same thing against us, and we'll find it near enough impossible to break them down. But this manager is too deluded, too arrogant to change his tactics. He can't do it because he doesn't know what else to do. Play the overlapping run. Make the team wider. Change the formation. Maybe don't play 4-3-3. Change it. Make the game, just make the whole pitch wider for the players. There's more creativity. The one thing I will give to Arteta is we do have injuries. There's a lack of creativity with those injuries. If we had Thomas Partey and Odegaard in there yesterday, I think we'd have had a better game because they add a lot more to our midfield than them two clowns that we've got next to Declan Rice. So I will give that to Arteta, and of course Jesus is out as well. But still, it comes down to the fact that we have two star players on the wing and two, in my opinion, very good fullbacks that are being underutilised. And because they're being underutilised is because Arteta is doing the same goddamn tactics every single week, and he's not changing it. Substitutions. I'm really sorry, Dal. I'll give you your moment in a sec, man.
Oh my God, keep going.
Substitutions. Late again. 70th minute. Again. Why aren't you making changes at half-time, Mikel? I know Leonardo Trossard hasn't been fantastic this season, but when you see nothing's working, at least bring him on. Not bring on a defender before him in the 70th minute. Why are you bringing on a defender for a defender? Exactly what he done against West Ham. This guy doesn't learn. And then he has the audacity to go into the press conference afterwards and not rule out his mistakes in the game, but go straight for the Premier League referees. Straight for them. Arrogance. Doesn't own up to his mistakes. Doesn't say that not just the refereeing was poor, which I do think it was in terms of bookings, not because of VAR, because of bookings, because Havertz and Guimaraes should have both been sent off yesterday. So that was poor from the referees there. And multiple yellow cards should have been given to the Newcastle players, but they weren't. That's the one thing I will say about referees. But Arteta he's too arrogant to admit how shit he was yesterday, how shit we were yesterday. And he has the audacity to go and say, I'm going to back my players. What do you mean back your players? Your tactics have made us do fuck all. We are a shell of what we were attacking last year. Oh, but we scored nearly the same amount of goals. Who gives a shit? We are not effective in games like we were last season. We were destroying teams. Just look at the stats. We were destroying teams last season. Absolutely. One shot on target. One shot. Need I say more? This is why we need to buy a flipping striker in January. We need a striker at this club. Ivan Toney, Brentford, Kroenke, pay the 80 to 100 million and get this man in our club, because at least he will offer some form of attacking threat in this club, because we currently do not have that. And if Arteta does not change his tactics and does not liven up this team to actually give a shit going forward, because all we do is play the extra pass. We don't take our chances. If Saka sees an extra pass, and if he has the option of an extra pass or a shot at goal, he will take the extra pass. Boring. And whether that's down to Arteta telling him to do that, whether it's down to him telling him to do that, it needs to change from yesterday, because obviously we would have done this yesterday. It should have changed yesterday. Straight after the game, we're changing this. We're going to the training facilities whenever it's today or Monday, and we are changing this shit. It's got to change, because if we carry on doing this for the next 6 games, which I believe should all be wins, by the way, bar Brentford away, because Brentford away is tough. I do think it should all be wins. We are fucked. We are screwed. I don't mean to swear, sorry. We are screwed.
It's okay.
Needs to change. Tactics are awful. We are a shell, an absolute shell of what we are last season. Oh, but we're third. Liverpool, we're now third, but we're still on a title race. Who cares? We are not going to win this title if we keep playing the way we're playing. And if we keep playing like this, last night is just the beginning. The ice is now cracking. It's just the beginning. I'm done now.
Oh, no! We suck again!
Fucking hell, I need a drink.
We suck.
Oh.
Yeah. That was woo.
Man. Connor had some notes. He was looking down on his spiral notebook and everything.
No, he was ready. He was ready. And he came with nothing but facts here. Let me there were a couple of things that I started. Clip that, baby. You guys, big up C Cubed inside. The only Spurs fan we allow in this chat. You guys knew there was a good chance you would lose. You guys are ranting like you're shocked though. We're shocked at how we lost, not that we lost.
Right.
We're shocked at how we lost. It's there's a difference there, I think. Just absolutely dead performance moving forward. And I don't care about possession stats. If you're not putting the ball on net, who cares? But big up C Cubed every single time. And I had a feeling that this was going to happen, Carl. Guimaraes scraped an elbow versus Havertz, lunging with a reckless tackle. Look, here's the thing. I think that the Guimaraes the refs I didn't see that was a makeup for the Havertz call. I don't think the Havertz call should have been a red. I don't think it should have been a red. If you look at it at speed, I think it was a nailed on yellow. But that Guimaraes forearm shiver, the fact that he didn't get sent off, I think was a makeup call. To be 100% honest with you, I completely agree not completely agree, but I kind of agree with what Carl's saying there. I think it was a makeup call. But big up everybody inside. We got 19 inside. You guys are incredible. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Sunday evening. Make sure that you are smashing the likes up. What do you got for us, Dow?
I've got to get a link to Jez here real quick.
Yeah, get the link to Jez.
Or somebody send that to Jez real quick.
I'll send it to Jez. You go. I didn't know if Jez wanted to join us, so I'll send that to you now, Jez.
So, in the chat. So anyway, my thing is, Connor, how do I add on to that, bro? That was absolutely spot on from top to bottom.
Cheers, bro.
My big complaint is a lot of it heard in the Instagram. More or less, I'm going to go maybe Connor talked about the squad, TJ. I'm going to talk a little bit, I think, about refereeing a little bit.
Go for it.
There's not a
Go
lot
for
Connor
it, man.
hasn't said that I don't agree with 1,000%. Right? What he said was 1,000%. So I want to talk a little bit about the refereeing, but really about how the culmination of everything led up to that, right? It was really a game of it was tight in the midfield. There was no outlet on the sides. There was no strategy. I think Eddie Howe was kind of out of options. I think it was one of those games where we just didn't get ourselves going. And it's due to the strategy. It's due to the fact that obviously Odegaard and Partey weren't there, because I think Connor hit the nail on the head that with those two players, they're impactful players, even though they dip in form. I just think that those two definitely would have made a difference yesterday. But when that ball was headed towards the out of bounds line, right? Who chased him down? Who actually chased after the ball? Who gave a shit to go chase after the ball just to make sure it didn't go out? No one. The other night, we counted 6 players around the 18-yard box, pointing and watching the ball. Like, There comes a time where you have to be the leader yourself, where you have to take the responsibility to do what you know is right out on the pitch. Never disregarding what Arteta says, disregarding what the captain says, or maybe another teammate may tell you to run somewhere else or do something else. In situations like we saw yesterday with the ball creeping out of bounds, everyone standing around watching, waiting for it to go out of bounds. So no one's proactive at chasing it down, like I said before. And what happened? In my opinion, the ball went out of bounds because, to me, there's some green between the ball and the line. Now, some people have disputed that. I put that picture up on Twitter and got absolutely slayed. Of course, I don't understand what a sphere is and all this kind of crap. And so maybe there's some logic to the edge of the line and the edge of the ball, touching, not being fully out. I don't care. The guy's curving his foot in to keep the ball in. But again, that doesn't deter from what we did, which was nothing, right? So I'm not going to put that it was VAR's fault that we lost. It was our own fault that we lost. It was Arteta's fault that we lost, But there comes a point in time where they spent more time looking at the foul than they even really did at the ball, I think, going out of bounds. They didn't even spend equal time. So my gripe really is with the refereeing and our performance. Newcastle played their game. They're a tough team at home. Bruno Gomes. I mean, it's like Carl said, it's tit for tat. You hit our guy hard, we're going to hit you hard. And that goes back and forth as the pitch, as many of you guys know. So putting it down to, we would have been done shit if you would have gotten red carded anyway, TJ.
I know. No, I agree. I agree with you.
It's not like we would have dominated the game and suddenly turned on the light bulb, right? I mean, the fact of the matter is we were on the back foot for pretty much, I would say 80% of the game, and we had the possession because we didn't do anything with the ball. We just passed it backwards.
I think
the possession is a misnomer for that game in specific.
No, I agree. I agree with you, especially when we don't move it forward. We don't move the ball forward effectively at all.
At all, right? And yesterday, really, like Connor said, really heightened that. Like, it was really noticeable yesterday. When some games, I think, we make it a goal. We see some performances late in the game, right, where we start to dominate the last 15, 20 minutes, and we can say, oh, we actually put in a little bit of work at the end. But yesterday was a complete calamity. And another thing, TJ, that you and I have talked about before, this team cannot play in the rain.
You have said that before. They can't
play in the rain. I know that sounds kind of like an elementary excuse or whatever, but they can't run in the rain. They just can't. Look at how many times Jorginho tried to get up and get going and accelerate. I mean, I know he's not the best example because the guy's like 50, but even Saka, even Martinelli, there was no acceleration. Like they could not get that ball moving yesterday. And I'm not, of course, blaming the weather, but it's just like we freeze up. It's like every strategy or every sort of any type of momentum we get, really kind of depends on all these little factors, right? It seems like, oh, if this player's not playing good, then everything falls apart, which was partly true yesterday because Saka ghost yesterday, as far as I'm concerned. Martinelli and Rice, to me, put up most of the fight. But at the end of the day, TJ, I think Connor just absolutely killed it earlier with his comments because everything about that's true. And I think that just highlighted our performance yesterday when we had 6 players watching the ball go out of bounds, stay in, and no one be proactive and attack. And a lot of finger pointing, no leadership again. And it is the history of the Arsenal.
No, it's embarrassing. And I think Rafe Canoe is correct. Like this is regression football. Yeah, no, we have regressed. It's not. I don't even think it's a question. Like, don't let the record fool you. Like we were undefeated. We've been saying this since week 2 that the quality of football has been poor. The quality of attacking football has been poor, with the exception of PSV, with the exception of one game against Sevilla. Like that. Right. That really is it.
Right, PSV, Bournemouth, and Sheffield.
Yeah, well, I don't even count Bournemouth and Sheffield.
No, but that's where we've performed. That's the only. I mean, Man City's. Yep. I mean, kinda, Man United. But I mean, if you look at those 3, I mean, you're talking, 9 for 13 goals, right?
Yep.
5 4 4. So I just think that those 3 games are really the level we're showing right now to where we're actually competitive. And I think to me, Man City is because they were missing Rodri. Rodri in there, he's an impact player. He would have definitely made a difference in a 1-0 game. And I just feel like we're regressing for sure. But I see even parts of like the coddleness, the caring of players. Like just everybody's smiling, right? Like Rice was smiling in the West Ham game at one point because he was so embarrassed of what he was seeing out on the pitch. And it's just, I don't know how Arteta can't see it that this is a one-man team right now. Look at my man Yeti.
My man Yeti, we got to get through our therapy. We got to get through our therapy.
Yeah, it's all good.
Before you dance on our graves. Jez, thank you so much for joining us. Both of you, thank you guys so much for joining us. I have a question after I want to get Jez's summary on the match. I have not watched any fan cams. I have not watched anything. I was at a wedding last night. I have not watched any football media before I came on here, so I am coming in completely blind. So if you guys are repeating stuff, repeat it again. Jez, why don't you give us your thoughts on the match just overall? Obviously, we've been talking in the group chat. We're all sick. But, yeah, let us know what you think.
Well, I'm not going to fall down the rabbit hole of getting into VAR this and referees that. At the end of the day, we were just rubbish. We were rubbish. And, everybody can make an excuse about, was the ball in? Was it not out? Was it in? Was it out? Was it a foul? Was it an offside? I don't care. Because at the end of the day, we had one shot the whole game. One shot. So that says to me, we were crap.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And I think, I'm just going to put this out there, people. I think the players are starting to get fed up with Arteta.
Yep. Good point.
I think there's coming a point in time, and it won't be very long off, where the players will turn, because I think they are fed up with his arrogance, the way he treats players. I mean, what's happened to Partey? Where's he gone? What's happened there? He made the statement. He put it out there. He wants to go in January. He wants more game time. Because I'm sorry, but if you've got a manager in Mikel Arteta that will play Jorginho or Havertz ahead of him, I'd be the same. Because these players are not stupid. They look at their teammates. And it's quite apparent the poor standard of football that Havertz and Jorginho play, that some of their counterparts, i.e. Declan Rice, doesn't want to pass to them. We saw that against West Ham on Wednesday night. Rice would rather pass it backwards than give it to Havertz. because he's so crap. He is awful. Jorginho is boring. All he does, sideways, backwards. That game yesterday afternoon, he had 3 key passes he could have made into the Saka, right, and Martinelli, and he passed it backwards. He's got no balls. I'll tell you what, the Arsenal ladies team have got more balls than him. Seriously.
They probably have nowadays.
The guy, well, yeah, the guy is useless. I felt sorry for Declan Rice in both games. He can't run the midfield on his own. Yeah, he must be thinking, I've joined one of the biggest clubs in English football, and what have I done? Because sometimes he's isolated and he just has no support. And I question, I've been saying it, guys, for 4 years now. I question Arteta's management. He's naive, he's arrogant, and the fact is he's ruining players. He doesn't bring players on. You tell me one player he's brought on since he's been at this club. No one. Not one. Saka has regressed recently. Martinelli is not what he was. Okay? And the fact of what he's doing, he's outed certain players like Guendouzi for one misdemeanor at Brighton. One misdemeanor. Yeah, I've seen a lot worse happen with certain players. This guy is the cause of Arsenal's downfall. I'm not going to fall down with VAR referees. I put it all on him. He is the idiot, right? He's the village idiot that is ruining this football club. And I've had enough of it. I'll be honest with you, I've had enough of it.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you guys.
Sorry, mate.
I was going to. No. I thought that was a good time to ask a question because I wanted to ask you guys a question, and then I don't know. Maybe we can just go one by one and do player ratings. Each of us can get a player, and then we can talk about. And then we can talk about Yeti's huge win today.
TJ.
This absolute joker wins one game against Aston Villa, and he's
going to probably disappear in 2 seconds. So sorry,
I'm a flip flop, mate. I'm a flip flop.
He's still here. I did see it that time.
What is that? I don't get what that is. Oh well, it's what
I don't know. But I wanted to ask the Arsenal fans on here a question. And I think I already know the answer to it, but I said it a little bit earlier in the stream. I was thinking about it on the way home when I had my 3-hour drive home yesterday. Is where's Bukayo Saka gone? Do you blame the manager for the fact that he's not producing anymore? Do you think he's trying to do too much? Do you think that there's too much pressure on him? Do you think we need to be leveling out the pressure a little bit more, and I'm being a little bit too harsh on Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka, I'll answer my own question before I go. I do blame Arteta for it. I think Saka has effectively disappeared because Arteta won't change his tactics up, and people know what Bukayo Saka is going to do, cutting in from the left, and he's going to try to take those shots from just inside the box or outside of it, and the opposing center backs are ready for it. I think I definitely blame Arteta for the fact that he has not changed up his tactics, and Bukayo Saka is somebody mute Yeti. Oh my goodness. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's one of those things where like I literally came on and was just like, Bukayo Saka has gone missing. Put this kid on a milk carton, man. He has not been seen since what? Bournemouth? Like, and he was playing on one leg back then. So I'm just disappointed because I love Bukayo Saka. He's my favorite player on the team, but he either needs to improve his game and adapt to what Arteta's doing, or Arteta needs to change. And I think it's the latter. What do you think, Connor?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or unless you're still messing with the layout, you want me to go to Dal.
I personally think Arteta's messed him up because of this injury, man. That's what I think. Because he ain't the player. He ain't the player he was. and I still don't think he's 100%. I really don't. I think I don't know if it's his confidence. I think his confidence is fine. I don't know what it. Do you know what? I know exactly what it fucking is. It's the tactics. The tactics are shit. And I'll say it again. These two are getting locked up every single game. It will happen when we play Burnley. It will even happen when we play Forest. Everyone knows. It's not every team in the Premier League knows exactly what we're going to do. But Arteta's too arrogant and he thinks, well, my system's really cool because it's inverted. Not everyone does that. So I'm really cool, Randy. I'm a new on the block and all this shit. It doesn't work. It worked last season. Don't get me wrong. We could see it work last season because teams weren't expecting to see what we were going to do. When we brought Zinchenko in, it was a new style of thing. When the inverted shit was working, it was working very well. But now when you play it twice, 2 seasons in a row, teams are like, well, we've now figured you out now. We're going to play a low block and we're going to block off Martinelli and Saka. It's easy. And then we take about 10 years to break down teams and fingers crossed, we cross on a random ball and it goes into the back of the net. So unfortunately, we've got people like Eddie Nketiah who I just don't get how, and I get it's Sheffield, but how can you score those type of goals against, I know it's against Sheffield, but it just make sense. How can you score the goals he did, but you can't do that consistently? Because it's not like he just scored like a little tapping and stuff. They were very good goals. So you've obviously got the ability, but why can't you do that consistently? That's what I don't understand with this guy. And he won't do that. So I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt unless he does it. But he's not going to do that. So he needs to leave. But listen, Saka, I'm worried because I think Reece deserves more chances. The one thing I like about Reece Nelson, I don't think he's Arsenal level, and I'll stick to that. But however, at least he gives a shit. He'll come onto that pitch when he's asked to, and he will care, and he'll actually give it a go. He'll give it a damn good go. But Arteta doesn't want to do that because he prefers to bring defenders on, because that makes sense, doesn't it? But Saka, I'm worried. That's what I'm going to say. I'm worried because he ain't looking like nothing like he was since he last 2 seasons. It's worrying. It's to blame. Big up Joanne Smith. It's been a while since I've seen you, lady. I hope you're well. Big up everybody in the chat. Make sure that you are smashing the absolute crap out of the like button. We are fuming here. Welcome to the Arsenal therapy session. Bukayo Saka.
Like I've said it before, he's ineffective when he doesn't have the ball in the 18-yard box. Like, he can dribble outside the 18-yard box by the out of bounds byline all day long. Like, it does nothing. All it brings in, like Connor said, is another defender. And then there's no one in the middle on top of the box to pass to because Odegaard's too far back waiting for the back pass.
I bend him.
We can just see it. Like Connor said, and you've said, TJ and Jez and everyone, you can see it. So what we're seeing in Arteta's scene are vastly 2 different things. And I think when it comes to Saka, the little trickeries and stuff, that has to be done in the box. Because anything outside of that, he's completely shut down. And Martinelli, we've said it time and time and again, the energy's there. I think the passion's there. The fight's there. But, oh my God, kid, you've got to lift your head up. You've got to lift your head up. And, when we were playing Sheffield, what we saw was players with their heads up, like looking for passes. Proactive, TJ. I talked about it just a few minutes ago. You have to be proactive. When the ball's passed to you, you can't just stand there and receive it. You have to run towards the ball. It's little football 101 things that we just are not good at right now. And I'm pessimistic. I don't think it's going to get better because we've talked about it before as well. The loss cloud that hangs over this club like no other. Well, maybe Man United these days, but we don't care too much about them. But the loss cloud. They won. Well, yeah, which I called in the thing anyway. The loss cloud stays with us. It's like we get in this bad run of form, and it's extremely, extremely difficult for us to get out of it, unless we face a Sheffield, unless we face a Bournemouth, right? We're talking already about the bottom feeders. Like, I'm scared to death of Aston Villa. Not so much after what I saw today, but Liverpool is still going to compete. I mean, just trying to even think that we're even going to finish third right now is kind of delusional in some cases because the football isn't there. And like Connor said, it's not expansive. I feel like it's not proactive. There's no real urgency. And I blame that on the selection of players, because Jorginho just can't pass a ball with any urgency. There's just no movement in the center of the park.
Can I also just say quickly, Dow? I just want to quickly say, what? And I've already sworn enough, so I'm going to say it again. I'm really sorry, TJ. What the fuck is our set piece coach? Those corners from Trossard last night, I genuinely believe I could have put in better crosses. And I was actually shocked to see that we've got the most goals from set pieces, because that was dreadful. And that's not the first time when I've seen poor corners. Because Saka's Saka this season, every time he's on a corner, it's either too far back, so it goes out of play on the other side, or it is straight at the first defender, i.e. the opposition defender. For some reason, with corners, how many corners did we have last night against Newcastle? 5 when Trossard came on? 4 or 5? Yeah. All of them. Tragic. I even said to myself when I was watching the game, I was like, well, we ain't getting nothing out of this, because he ain't even sending in balls. Like, what is our set piece coach meant to be? Because I don't know how the hell we got 9 goals out of it, in all honesty.
Really that many? I'm surprised it's even that many. Same thing. Like, I was watching the game at the end with my wife before she took off for Seattle yesterday on a road trip. It's like his second one that Trossard put in. I literally said, well, let's see if he gets this past the first man. Right? Mm-hmm. I literally said that to my wife just sitting there. Like, no, it's abysmal, Connor, and there's no real plan. All we see was the players far out wide. The moment he kicks it, they push in the middle, and that's all they ever do. There's no short outlet for the ball for like someone to loop it in. We're completely out of ideas, bro. We're just completely and utterly out of creative ideas. And to think Odegaard is going to be that creative spark that we need every game is absolutely ridiculous, because he got found out against West Ham. Mm-hmm. And like I saw in the chat, I doubt too that he's injured, and I doubt Partey's injured. I don't understand how Odegaard's injured when you miss 2.5 games and then you come in and score a decent goal and now you're injured. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I think, whoever said it too, there's some rebellion going on in the dressing room, because this can't continue on. And Jez is right. Declan Rice absolutely hates Jorginho and Havertz. It's you can see it. Why would he dribble the ball up, 3/4 of the way of the pitch?
Yeah,
right?
I did notice that.
There's no reason for him to do that. Granted, Xhaka didn't do that. Granted, Xhaka dished the ball off and tried to make space and pull a defender away. And I'm not criticizing Rice, because he's basically doing the job of 3 people. And that's why we've given him so much praise, because he fucking has to. Because there's nobody else will do it. And that's where the leadership comes in that we've talked about before, you guys. Declan Rice is absolutely the captain of this club, without a doubt. I'm completely convinced now, especially after watching Jez, shout out my man Jez up there with Lee the other day. They absolutely killed that player rating show, or that reaction show. Declan Rice is the captain of this club. Martin Odegaard, he's got some crafty feet, and he has an eye for a pass and a goal, but he has no strength. He has no leadership ability, and he's basically been floated as a player since he was 16 years old to different clubs, because no one knows what to do with him. Let's be honest. Real Madrid don't know what to do with him. Real Sociedad thought he was great, but he started performing like crap the second season he was there on loan and went back to Madrid to go be the water boy. So let's not forget Odegaard's background and how that plays into this. He is a drifter of a player. And that's what this club is. It's full of drifters. And I said it before in our chat, I am ready for a summer clear out from the top down. Keep Declan Rice as your pivotal player. Keep Martinelli and Saka, Gabriel and Saliba, possibly Tomiyasu. I can't believe I'm saying that. But there's only a few fighters at this club. And I think, in my opinion, I've identified 4 or 5 of them right there. The rest can fucking go. I'm serious. The more I think about it, Jesus ain't good enough. Eddie Nketiah sure as hell ain't good enough. Odegaard is a shadow of who he was last season. Gabriel Saliba, yes, okay, fine. We got to see what Timber looks like. I'm not convinced anymore of Ben White. He had 2 great seasons with us. I mean, maybe his time's up. And our midfield is completely dusted. The only midfielder I really rate right now is Declan Rice. Even Partey is probably a leg or 2 shy at being 32 years old, but I still rate him higher than Jorginho. Errol Smith-Rowe, I'm ready to say goodbye. Vieira, get the fuck out. Think about it, guys. From position to position, we can replace just about 80% of that squad. easily.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Name, position, there's someone better. There's someone better out there.
Yeah. Last but not least. No, absolutely. Big up the chat, everybody, too. And also big up Carl Rossi for the super chat. Some love for the legendary panel. We love you, Carl, the best looking Irish Frenchman we know, my friend. Thank you so much for the super chat and your continued support of the channel. Last but not least, I want to go to Jez on this point. Jez, I think you are. I think I already know what you're going to say to this, but has Mikel Arteta been found out? Is he losing do you think he's losing the locker room and it's affecting the performances of star players like Bukayo Saka, of star players like Gabriel Martinelli? What do you think?
Absolutely. I think the time has come. I think the players are frustrated with the negative tactics, his impotence of the way, not impotence, but you know what I mean. His petulancy in the way he treats players. You know, I mean, let's get it right. Thomas Partey has been part of this team for quite a while. Now, why has he disappeared? I mean, there's nothing that's been released from the club to say he's injured, he's got a hamstring or whatever. That smacks to me again of Arteta. Because Partey has said he wants to go in January because he's not getting the game time he wants. That is typical of Arteta saying, well, you play my way or you do what I say or you get out. Well, unfortunately, Mikel, that proves what an absolute arrogant arsehole you are. And you will not be here for much longer because eventually, the fan base will turn. If this continues, right, you will be out the door. And I can't wait for the day that you've gone because you are the worst. You are the worst manager I've ever seen at this club.
Wow.
No question, man.
Ooh.
Wow.
No question. I mean, we've had some average managers. We've had some great managers.
Right.
You are the worst fella. See, I mean, I'm not going to count in caretaker managers like Don Howe when just before Wenger came in and all that sort of thing.
Right.
But Arteta, you are the most arrogant piece of shit I've ever seen in Arsenal Football Club. And your absolute idiotic press conferences proves to me you are a prick. And get out. Because at the end of the day, you are going to destroy this football club. And we ain't going to win the Premier League. We're not going to win the Champions League. And I wouldn't be at all surprised with the way things are going right now. We wouldn't even get the top 5.
Yeah.
Seriously, this guy is an absolute joker. And he needs to get out of this club very quickly. And if he's not gone by Christmas, I'll be very surprised. Because I cannot see any improvement in our Premier League form. The players, I honestly believe, are pissed off of him. Because they see their teammates getting abused, right? And they're going to say, well, no, not, you know, these guys, let's get it right, people. These are adults. They all chat to each other. But maybe not at the training ground, but they're on the phone to each other. You can guarantee that. They're talking. Yeah? And, you know, we know that when players like Aubameyang, when he went and left, he said, I can't think of the player's name now, can't think of him, but he actually said to that guy, quoted, don't go to Arsenal. Says it all, doesn't it? Says it all. And I've always been an advocate, and I still maintain this, and it goes back a long way. Players will come to the club because of Arsenal being Arsenal, but they really will also come because they're attracted by the manager. Hence, George Graham, when he attracted, Sol Campbell from Tottenham, because Sol Campbell wanted to play for George Graham. Arsene Wenger attracted. The list goes on.
Exactly.
They wanted to play for Arsene Wenger. Who the hell in world football, right, wants to play for Mikel Arteta? And it was all the big gooners out there. I shouldn't have said that. I hate that term. The super fans out there, right? Oh, we're in the Champions League. Oh, we're going to attract world class. Name me one. Name me one world class player at Arsenal Football Club.
Declan Rice.
I wouldn't even call him world class yet.
He could be.
He's in
England.
We've got a lot of could be's, and that's one thing I want to put you at, Jez. The word world class is so overused nowadays. So overused. And I can tell
Havertz is world class.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, in his own domain. Yeah, he's world class in his own domain.
Emphasis on the ass. Go ahead.
Yeah. There's players at this club that can be, but no players at this club right now have warranted or warranted anything to gain those two words to their name. A fact. None of them are one of. You could say Jorginho because he's won the Euros and the Champions League and all that, but he's shit. So I'm not going to qualify him as world class.
Who did you say was the last world class player we had at Arsenal?
Alexis Sanchez, maybe.
Probably.
Probably that. I mean, would you really put Aubameyang up there? I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
Remember,
Alexis Sanchez.
Remember, Aubameyang was being played at left wide back and was never really played centrally. Arteta's the one that played him on the left wing where he barely even touched the ball half the times. Arteta was the one that had the falling out with Aubameyang. It wasn't Aubameyang having the problem with Arteta.
As much as I did love Aubameyang, Alexis Sanchez was just, and especially as I was growing up watching Arsenal from young, Alexis Sanchez always just gave me that first instinct of that's an Arsenal player in my youth. So for me, just to answer Alexis Sanchez for me. And how many years ago was that? 2017 was when he left Arsenal?
Football.
So,
yeah.
So I got a question
a long time ago.
TJ and Connor, real quick. I know we're talking about sacking Arteta, and we want to do that, but what's it going to take for Josh Kroenke, Jez, to sign on that dotted line? Because I still think that their relationship is solid as a tree root is to.
He don't care. He's earning money, mate. He's earning money. He don't care.
I get that, but I still think that it's going to take more than a freaking earthquake to get Josh Kroenke to fire him, because I think Arteta is that much of a grifter and a snake to be able to weasel his way into another year, another contract. I truly believe
80% of the fans are behind him, so why would he get rid of him?
That's another point as well. So that's why
money talks,
because he has, he knows more about this.
I don't think the Kroenkes at the moment are the biggest problem. Just because of the money.
I don't. They've spent 700 million. How can they be the problem?
The only thing they've done wrong is they've put trust in this guy. They've put trust in this guy to spend that money, and that's the problem that they have. So, because I hate at this point in time, I hate saying it's the owners personally, because then I feel like we sound like United fans because they spend a lot of money.
It's not the owners.
And they still snob about we don't spend money, which is bullshit. They just don't spend it correctly. That's the whole point of Man United. I think the Kroenkes.
Time out, Connor.
The one thing with the Kroenkes is, if I was the Kroenkes, you buy a striker in January. If you really want to give a fuck and you want to win something to gain more money.
I don't think they know that enough. I think they're using Arteta to tell them to do that, bro. That's my point. Is I think that the Kroenkes seriously don't know. They're learning, but it has to be. You see what I'm saying, Connor? You see where I'm coming from? They're
the only thing
as a leadership.
I don't think they care, mate. I don't think they care. They're making money left, right, and centre. So why would you care? They're businessmen.
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
Arteta is holding their hand, you guys. I don't think it's the other way around, Connor. I think Arteta is holding their hands and guiding them as new owners into what they need to do to please him. You see where I'm coming from? I don't think it's the money. I think it's the relationship.
Can I just say something, though, Dal?
Go ahead. Go on, Yeti. Go on.
Can I just say something, right? This is an American guy that's coming. He's a businessman. All he's bothered all he's bothered in is the money's going in the till, and all he's seeing on Twitter and all this kind of stuff with all these dickhead 80% fans yeah, is they're saying they're loving it, and they, you know, even if you lose, they're all right with it, and you got robbed and all this kind of stuff. So why should he care? He's not Arsenal. He's not. He's nothing to do with Arsenal. He's actually a businessman, and he has actually put the money forward as well. So I don't think you can blame the Kroenkes.
I'm not blaming.
I don't think-
I'm blaming.
Go ahead.
I'm not blaming anybody, bro. I want to examine the relationship that Arteta and Josh Kroenke has, because Stan does not run shit. He sits back and writes the checks, right? For the Rams, the Avalanche,
Yeah,
Arsenal,
yeah,
etc.
definitely.
Josh Kroenke is the active owner of Arsenal Football Club, right? He has a one-way communication with Arteta, and then there's the board and all that other bullshit. But I think Arteta is guiding them along the way. I felt that from day one.
I don't know about that.
You can watch the All or Nothing show on Amazon, and the Kroenkes come off as like these suave owners, which they are in America. But English football is a total different, bowl of soup. And the old FSG group from Liverpool learned the hard way. Many owners, as you know, Yeti, have come and gone. What is it going to take, though? That's why I was asking Connor and Jez and anybody else for Josh Kroenke to really pull away from the relationship, because I believe Kroenke and Josh Kroenke and Arteta get along very, very well, and it's going to take a monumental event for that relationship to sever. And I don't think it's over money, because we've gotten the money. That has not been an option.
Do you not think the problem's that 80% of the fan base are actually behind them?
I don't know if the Kroenkes even keep track of the fan base, bro. I don't think they keep track of social media metrics.
They keep, you've got the social media people that look at social media, and 80% of your fan base is behind them.
I personally think that if Josh wanted to suck off, I say that. What was we talking about this now, aren't we? At the end of the day, and we say this, and I completely agree with that, Josh is a businessman at the end of the day. I don't believe he's a football fan. He's a businessman. He wants to make money. He's not. Just like his dad. And it will come. I do think it will come to a point where he will sit down to himself and his dad, and he'll say, "Right, I've given this guy £700 million of my money, and he's only won me one trophy. And as much as he's nice and we get on, if that was me, because I don't think Josh is an Arsenal fan. I don't think he's a football fan, but I don't think he's an idiot. That's one thing I will. I don't think he's an idiot. He's rich you can say he's rich because of his dad, but he's got his money for a reason. I don't think he's going to allow Mikel to do this for another 4 years. No way. No way.
All right. His
time will come.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I want to. We asked Jez a question like 10 minutes ago, and I want to make sure that he gets a chance to answer.
Sorry, Jez.
Jez, what do you think it'll take to get Arteta dislodged?
The fans.
Yeah, the fans. Yeah.
It will be the fans.
I
mean, let's put the facts on the table here. The Kroenkes bought the club, right? Majority shareholders, 2007. Arsene Wenger was manager, and they went along with it. They went along with it, and they went along with it, and eventually the fan base turned by not turning up at the grounds, and that is the time that the Kroenkes thought this is enough. And don't forget the board of directors at Arsenal, which we never hear or see from.
Right.
Yeah. They own part of the club. They have shares. There are also shares owned by Arsenal football fans. Not a lot, but there is. The fact is that all the time, it's all the get-along gang. It's all happy rosy. The only time it's going to turn is when Arteta starts getting booed. And I don't believe it's very far off.
Did you really think that?
Sorry?
Do you really think that it's not far off from Arteta getting booed? Mate, it's like a cult. Your fan base right now is like a cult. If Arteta turned around and said, "Oh, go and do this or do this, that, and the other," I think they'd do it. Yeah. They are mental, man. They're mental.
It's the same with Wenger, Yeti. It got to the point, whatever Wenger said or did, right, the fans went along with it. But when we started getting knocked out of the Champions League after group stage, and it was year on, all we were doing, not competing, top four. The fans got pissed off of it. And it will happen. Now, I was chatting with Kenny yesterday, right? He goes week in, week out home games, yeah? And he tells me behind the scenes going down. There's a lot of fans that don't, the social media fans, right? 80% of those people don't even go to the ground.
Fans aren't like they used to be, though. That's one thing I will say. Fans aren't like they used to be.
Well, a lot of these fans, right, on Arsenal media are overseas. They've never been to a bloody game. They're never going to get to a game for financial reasons, right? So all they'll go along with is follow the narrative. It's the fans that go, the fans that have season tickets. It's the fans that spend each week, week in, week out. They're the ones that will turn the cronkies. They are the ones.
Yeah.
They don't turn up and they've spent $2,500 on a season ticket, right? They're turning up. They're spending money on the concourse, buying overrated bloody crap food, overrated price of beer. Yeah?
Prawn sandwiches.
Last time I went to the Emirates 2 years ago, a glass of wine, shit red wine, right? Nearly 11 quid.
Oh my days!
All right, that was a large.
I can see why you don't go now.
That is when it starts to hurt the club in the pocket. It's that when he will go, because at the end of the day,
exactly, 100%.
Fans will say enough is enough. I don't give a shit about all these people that live in Rwanda and God knows where else they live. I don't care, because you can all sit there praising the club and saying, oh, this, that, and the other, right? You don't go. You don't spend money there. You don't see what goes on. And this is the problem. Social media has affected every single football
100%.
around.
100%, man.
Not just
100%.
Arsenal, it's Liverpool, it's Man United. Yeah. The biggest club in English football right now is in complete meltdown. Complete meltdown.
Yeah, true.
I never thought I'd ever see that in my lifetime. That bad. I mean,
The problem with social media, though, is the only people that's actually going on there and saying something to Arsenal are these idiots who just keep backing it all the time instead of people that don't back it.
Notice how the big channels are the ones that don't speak the truth. Let me just
100%.
Let me just say that. I'll just leave that there. That's just
100%.
fact. Notice how the big
100%.
channels are the ones that.
I need a bit of a backing. So.
No worries.
All right, no worries. No
you
worries.
go get that, mate.
May I say to you, Connor? May I say to you, right? I've been watching a few of their fan cams lately.
Yeah.
I don't normally watch them because I've got no time for them. There's a few on there, even on AFTV, I'm getting pissed off.
Yeah, I saw that actually, Jez. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of them are getting the arse now with AFTV. Right? Because they're actually starting to give their own opinions rather than the narrative.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, as Lee's called it, it won't be long before they're in deep shit.
I actually saw something yesterday on social media that one fan, who I probably respect the most on that channel, actually went for a Arsenal loss in the predictions against West Ham. And the reply that he got from a certain fan, the guy who runs it, was, "Oh, look at that negative. There's no positivity from you, is there?" Whereas, just because he's giving his real opinion. As soon as someone doesn't give their real opinion, and I guarantee you, if that person keeps saying that his real opinion, I guarantee he'll be off that channel.
Oh, guaranteed. Well,
because then Edu will email, "I don't like that. That's not positive enough. That you got to get him off now. Replace."
Yeah, well, you don't want. You don't want the leads of AFTV losing their media pass and losing their access to Edu Gaspar. And
imagine if we were on that channel. I reckon we'd actually send the subs up because they've been like standstill for years now.
Yeah.
You know, they were the biggest
Well,
channel.
they've hit all they're going to
They
hit.
were the biggest
They've
channel.
hit all they're going to hit.
United stand, and I know they're the biggest club in England. I get that. Have just risen above it. Just risen above it, and they've just stood still. I guarantee if they have more fans like us who really do talk how it is, I guarantee you they go straight back up. Guarantee it.
So what I'm hearing, guys, is that no matter the relationship that I feel, or maybe other people feel as well, that the Cronkies have established with Arteta, it's just not going to matter when all the fans really start to turn.
It's all about the money for the Cronkies. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. They
Please go ahead, TJ. I'm sorry.
No. It's all about the money with the Cronkies. That's all I'm going to say. And when people got really vocal about wanting Wenger out, and they saw that it was probably going to hit their pockets adversely, they asked him to resign, and they made a change. And now, and ever since then, bar the horrible start we had to the 21 season, you haven't seen much resistance to the Cronkies. So
right, and I'm worried is that Arteta will keep, like I said before, keep snaking his way into a new contract, because I think the Cronkies are looking for another manager who can run the club for possibly 22 years straight, like Wenger did. You know, and
yeah.
God forbid if they think Arteta is going to be that guy. And I just, you know, I don't know. I don't know how the Cronkies gauge each season, right? They'll come out at the end of a trophy, win the FA Cup, right? They'll come out and celebrate and so forth. But I don't know how much they pay attention to, you know, is Arteta making the right decisions, you know, tactically. And I'm sure they're not, because, again, they're probably not football connoisseurs like all of us here, right? But the fact of the matter is that I think Arteta has the ability to keep chucking and jiving his way into contracts. I really think he has that ability, and I really think there's a naivety with the Cronkies when it comes to English football that they just don't understand. I think there's a real gap there.
They're just businessmen, mate.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I keep thinking that Arteta is leading them in this whole process for them now.
I agree.
They've had the club since 2007, but at least when they bought the club, they came in with Arsene Wenger, right, who was basically running everything, the real professor, the man, the man, right? Arteta isn't really the man. I just feel like he's kind of, I don't know, just an information person for them. Like, oh, I need this player. Oh, okay, Arteta, we don't know shit about football. Here's $65 million for a player we don't know anything about.
I just don't see, because as much as they're businessmen, I do think they've got a brain on them, and as much as they probably have whacked off the last couple of years because they want to, you know, promote the process stuff, there is no way Josh and Stan would allow 1.4 million to be spent in another 4 years for them to win nothing. That I genuinely do believe, whether it's this season and the fans want to do something about it, or whether unfortunately it'll have to be next season, Arteta will go, because unless Josh and Stan just feel like they can do whatever the fuck they want with their money, there is no way they're allowing that man to spend more money under their name. Especially when we're getting when they're getting results like this, i.e., one trophy out of £700 million. I just don't see it personally.
Right, I understand.
Just going to say, businessmen are all about the money. Yeah. And at the end of the day, if they can get somebody who's up front instead of them getting all the crap, then that's what they'll do. And that is what they've got with Arteta. Yeah. And they are making money left, right, and centre. So why would they be bothered about it?
No. I think that's a great point. And Arsenal, you know, believe it or not, Arsenal are worth more. Well, I think the Rams might be worth more just because of the stadium. But that's one of their two crown jewels. I mean, you can talk about the Nuggets, you can talk about the Avalanche, the Rapids, blah 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 blah. But no, this is the crown jewel. This is the crown jewel. The stadium is the crown jewel. And I got a question in here, and I've explained this before, AJ, and I'll explain it again. It's two completely different systems between the Avalanche and the Nuggets and Arsenal. It's completely the way American sports operate versus how the Premier League operates is completely different. You can't what a lot of people don't know about the Avalanche and the Avalanche and the Nuggets is that they lost for years and years and years and years and years. And there's no relegation in America. So you can just go out, get the best, youngest players with the highest draft pick after you finish last, and you can start building a team off of that. And the Nuggets did that. The Avalanche did that. And they,
Nuggets.
and
Why
if you
call
can't,
themselves Nuggets?
gold nuggets they were named. Yeah. Denver
Well,
was,
Nuggets in the UK means something totally different.
Oh, I know what it means in the UK, but all right, now, but I want to answer that. It's completely different. I'm just going through a couple of these questions real quick, guys, and then we'll get to player ratings. Are you guys still winning the league this season? Nobody on this. Cubes is here. Cubes is here just throwing.
No, you're winning it. You're winning it.
Yeah. Spurs are winning it in October. October champions. Question for TJ. How long are you gonna hide from me? How long are you gonna hide from me? As long as it takes, Cubed.
Your time is coming for you. Your time is coming. Spurs, your time is coming, boys. Your time is coming.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It will slap you in the face like nothing before. I'm telling you. Do you know
It's
what?
coming tomorrow.
I had a vision, you guys. I had a vision before we get to play ratings. I genuinely do believe, as much as Ad has done a good job for Tottenham so far, I do genuinely believe this is a honeymoon period. Clip it. Do what you want with it. I genuinely believe this is a honeymoon period. Great run.
Jez, do you think it's a honeymoon period? I want to see what Jez thinks. Jez, is it a honeymoon period for Tottenham right now? What they're going through?
Oh, mate, that's a big question. I'm not sure it is. And I tell you what, I tell you, mate.
That's why I wanted to hear Jez's opinion on it, because we hear these Spurs fans coming in here and dancing on graves. But I think it is. I agree with Connor. I think it is a honeymoon period. But what do you think, Jez?
Mate, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, because I think with Ange Postecoglou, his name is
Alphabet soup.
He's got something going there. And once a team gets belief, once a team gets that, they're very hard to take down. And I will be heartbroken.
Although you weren't last season.
Well, I've never seen Tottenham win a league championship in my lifetime. They did the year I was born, but mate, if Tottenham were to win the Premier League, I don't know what I'll have to say.
Summer ruined, mate. That's not even summer ruined. That's football ruined until we actually.
No, that's the end of this channel. If Spurs win the league, that's the end of this channel. It was nice. It was nice knowing everybody.
At the end of the day, they're not going to do it, because at the end of the day, if anything happens to Madison, it's game over.
Exactly.
Yeah, agreed. Or Basuma for long-term injury to Basuma.
They've played without Basuma, so it was all right without Basuma. I think Madison's the key.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I think they've got the exact same problem we have this season and last. You know, it's the depth that's the problem. The first 11 is fantastic. It's a great 11. They all work well together. But as soon as you take one piece out or two, then it will all come. It's like taking out, when you do Jenga. You know, you got the whole tower, they're all together. And you take two out, and they're wobbling, bang, it'll crash on the floor.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as you guys as well, though, to be fair.
Exactly.
You ain't got the depth.
But they don't. But the thing, and it's not all Spurs fans, because I do actually speak to a couple of Spurs fans, and they're actually very heads on. But because they haven't seen, and I know I'm one to talk, but at least we've won a couple of cups in the recent years. But because they haven't seen much success, and because they aren't used to it, and because they've never, and you couldn't really even say the 15-16 season, they weren't really in a title race. So now that they've actually got the bit of excitement of a title race, like, oh, this is a new feeling. Oh, what is this? I love it. You know, let's just ride it out and just love it and all this stuff. And it's like, chill, because we were in this position last season. We were in this position. We were doing this. And then it all comes falling apart. I'm telling you, it will happen. It will come. And like Chiellini said, it's the history of the Tottenham, mate. So we'll see. We'll see, man.
If they manage to keep it going and then strengthen in January, then I think then you start to need to be worried about them.
Yeah.
But other than that, no.
Hopefully Chelsea actually turn up tomorrow night. So we'll see.
Okay, let's do player ratings, one player each. Let's not go all the way around the horn because I want to keep the conversation going, but we want it customary to do the match ratings. Let's just go around the horn. Let's start with Connor though. I'll go last. David Rea.
All right.
I'm not going to do player rating.
Okay.
Scott.
All right.
Well,
No worries, Getty. And we'll talk about your incredible victory afterwards.
It was a great victory.
Well, we're
Monumental.
amazing, mate.
Champions League.
European Cup winners coming again. 3rd star.
David Raya. I mean, if we're going to point out the obvious, poor on that goal. Just so poor. But at the end of the day, if we do look at it realistically, Newcastle were like us. They gave us nothing to really offer in terms of defensively, apart from that one goal. I still think he's better than Ramsdale. I do. I do still think he's a better goalkeeper. But I've got to give him. It's a poor goal to concede. Well, it was from everyone, really. But I'm torn between a 4 and a 5. I'm going to give him a 4. David Raya.
Okay. All right. Dal, Ben White.
Shocking. Even though he changed his beautiful hair, he just. This is where I see the Arteta instruction. Right, he's not overlapping. He's not communicating. He's not in positions where he needs to be. Especially yesterday, I'm gonna give him a 3. He needs more time. He's just not to the races yet.
Okay. Jez, Saliba. I didn't catch your match reaction or your player ratings with Lee. I got to go on there. So give me a little preview here.
Saliba, probably one of the only players that actually tried to do anything. So I'll give him a 6.
Yeah. Okay. I'm also going to give Gabriel a 6. I thought that he played well overall, but I think he went down a little too easily on that goal. Trying to draw something. So, 6. Big up footy chats. I see you, brother. Hope you're good. All right, Connor Tomiyasu.
Arteta's got him playing inverted now. That's him fucked. Sorry, I need to stop swearing to you, It's really bad.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
I'm just, but that's him screwed. He's not an inverted fullback. He overlaps. He's attacking.
That's Connor grounded. His parents are going to wear this.
That's me off the channel for a couple of minutes. He's Tomiyasu. Overall, it wasn't his best game, but I still think he's the better fullback. But now playing him inverted, so he's screwed. Tactics have screwed him. So that's a shame. But I'm not going to be harsh. I think he tried at least. I'm going to give him a 4 personally. I do think he's. Do you know what? He's actually really impressed me recently. And I rate him for it because when we brought him in, I didn't really think much of him. But he's good. That's one way I describe him. He's good, and I just wish Arteta would not screw around with him because he played inverted and it screwed him up. So is what it is.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go with Jorginho, Dal.
Lucky me, Jorginho, little Jorginho. Kicks the ball around a bit, has a nice haircut. I'm going to give him a fat Jaminho -10. Oh, wait, you don't have that on your chart.
Got 1.
Let's go 1 because he is fucking dog shit. I'm sorry. He is one of the worst Arsenal players I've seen in a shirt. I will not ever forgive him for the Tottenham mistake. And from then on, from the Tottenham game on, I've been Arteta out. I haven't been that vocal about it. But we don't have a plan. Jorginho doesn't even know the color of his shirt or what country he's in. Fuck him. He gets a 1. He's shit.
1.
You're getting grounded as well. Stop swearing.
1. Yeah, everybody. It's okay. It's okay. The ad money isn't coming in anyway. Yeah. Let's go ahead, Dal. Let's go, Jez. Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, the only player on the park that actually deserved really anything out of that game. Declan Rice for me. I'll give him a 7, my man of the match, because at the end of the day, he had to play with a negative. Well, he's on his own in midfield. Let's put it right. The rest of the team, Jorginho, Havertz, absolute donkey crap. Rice.
I would have called in sick if I was Declan Rice, to be honest.
I'm sorry. You know, the minute we saw that midfield, we knew the game was over. As
Yeah.
simple as
Yeah.
that.
Same with West Ham. Same story as West Ham.
Facts, TJ.
Facts. Yep. All right. Kai Havertz gets a.
Boy, oh boy.
Me and TJ got lucky in these draws, boy. Ooh.
I wouldn't say, do you know what?
0.
I wouldn't say he was as bad as Jorginho, but he was definitely up there for it.
Should have
I'm
been
gonna give him
sent
a
off.
3.
To be honest.
Should have been
I'm
something.
gonna give him a 3.
Wow.
Not great. I don't know. That's higher than a lot of other people, but I thought he was more. I thought he was more active. I thought he was more in the game than he has been all season.
Before the stupid errors, i.e. the tackles, I didn't think he was actually. I thought I was seeing a bit of He's actually getting into the box here. I thought, right, is he actually going to do something here? But then he goes back and does those tackles, and I think, right, no, here's what we paid for.
You guys have to keep in mind that I mean, and I'm one of the more positive ones out of this crew here. I thought that he was more involved in this game than he has ever been in any other Arsenal game. I think maybe Sands when he played number 9 in the Community Shield, but other than that, he hasn't. This is the most involved he's been in a game. So I'll give him a 3. I think that he was bad. I thought he was bad, but I don't think he was he wasn't Jorginho bad, but he was bad.
Right.
I'd give Havertz luggage and send him home.
I mean, unfortunately, I tried to print off the return slip and give it to the Chelsea fans, but they wouldn't sign it. I don't know why. Bukayo Saka, Connor.
Man.
It breaks my heart, man. It actually breaks my heart.
Yep.
He's my favorite player, especially me being young as well. You know, he's a youngster. You know, he sort of represents my age. You know, it's just this man just screwed him. I'm putting it down to it. I'm sorry, he screwed him. What was it? How many consecutive games was it? 90, 80 or something like that?
Yep.
For a 20-year-old, 21-year-old. Bro, if he is like this now, and Arteta leaves this club, I'm never going to forgive that man ever again, because you just screwed that could be a world-class player, probably the closest to it in this team, maybe bar Declan Rice. But little do I say, I mean, do you know what? I don't think he's gone. It's just tactics. Every game from now to the end of the season, unless we change something, 2 players will be on him. It will be a fullback and a winger. That is it. They will be on him, and they will not leave his side, and he can't create. And also, one thing, and I said it earlier, one thing about Saka, and it's really annoyed me with him recently, he's not taking chances. He'll always pick, I said it earlier, he'll always pick the extra pass, and he's got to stop doing that. He's got to at least take the chance, because we know that left foot's a weapon. He can score with that left foot when he wants to, but he doesn't use it now. So whether that's Arteta telling him to do it, or whether it's himself, he's got to sort it out. Stop taking the extra pass. I generally think, I'm sorry, he was on the level of Ben White and Kai Havertz. So I'm going to give him a 3. It wasn't creative at all.
Right.
It wasn't.
Okay. Well, we know he can score with his left foot.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. So, 3 for me.
All right. Dal, Gabriel Martinelli.
My left winger looked good, I thought, for the last few minutes of the game. Before he was subbed off for Trossard, right?
Martinelli.
Wasn't he? Yeah, Martinelli was subbed off.
No, wasn't it Eddie? Eddie got subbed off from.
Eddie was. Thank you. Martinelli's my guy. There's just little things about his game I want him to improve. I thought he was still one of the better players, but I'm still going to give him a 4. It's just underwhelming. And it's the same thing with Saka as it is, I think, with Martinelli. He's getting double teamed, but there's times where he's one-on-one, and I just think he needs to make better decisions in the box, lift his head up more, and just take a little more chances, like Connor said with Saka. And I still think there's a player there, you know, and same thing like Connor said with Saka. If Arteta kills this kid, I'm going to be very upset, but he didn't do much yesterday, so a 4.
Okay.
And also, he lost his cool yesterday, which really annoyed me. You know, he kept losing his cool in the 85th, 90th minute, and you've got to control that, because otherwise you won't perform. It's as simple as that.
He was very upset.
Facts. All right. This will be good.
Oh, Jez.
Eddie and Kedia. Jez.
0. Absolute dog crap.
Let's actually make it a 1 for him.
Yeah.
That's too good for him anyway. Because that guy is absolute rubbish. I bigged him up last week. I gave him a 10 out of 10 for his hat trick. And the only reason I gave him a 10 out of 10 because he scored a hat trick. And anybody that scores a hat trick deserves a 10 out of 10. But he was crap against West Ham, and he was crap against Newcastle yesterday.
Fact.
This guy, seriously, is in my top 10 worst players I've ever seen at Arsenal Football Club.
Fair.
There's been some bad ones. I mean, we've had some bloody poor strikers that not you guys would never have seen in your lives. Peter Marinello, rubbish. Shamak, rubbish.
Saw him.
Well, you
Best 14 you've ever had, Jez. What are you talking about?
It gets you, man. I mean, you've had your chance, brother. No, I'm not going to swear. I'm a guest. Get out. Get out, man. Just get out. Get out.
What, me?
Okay.
Yeah, get out, yay.
Yeah, get out. Yeah.
Number 2.
Just get out the club.
Okay, I'll take Alexander Zinchenko.
Christ.
Standard 5. He was fine.
Yeah, 5.
Like he coming off the bench. We hadn't what?
What?
Don't think him higher.
Did he cost us anything?
To be honest, Al, he didn't have enough
Yeah,
time.
everything.
Too late with his subs anyway. He was too late.
Yeah,
That's what
it was
came on.
average.
I'm just like, why are you on and not someone who can actually put the ball in the back of the net?
Blame Arteta for that.
I
Blame
know.
Arteta for that.
Okay, a 5 is fair enough.
Yeah, blame Arteta for that. He came on for Ben White and he was average. That's just
Yeah,
my
that's true.
my thought. All right. Leo Trossard, Connor.
Should have been brought on at half time, but this guy, for some reason, doesn't like to bring on subs until the 70th minute. I think he's got like a 70th minute fetish or something because, oh my God, he will not bring on a player. Like, it is. I don't think he'd even bring on his own wife in the 45th minute. Like, it's just, what does he have to do to make early substitutions? I'm literally
70th minute is probably when he makes a come.
Oh, I
Have a
knew
plan,
you were going to
Martin.
say
Have a
that.
plan.
I knew you
That's
were
what he
gonna say
had.
that. Yeah, Trossard. I'm not even going to give him a 5. I'm going to give him lower than that because his corners were shocking. When he had chances to create, they were shocking. So for me, I'm sorry, I'm going to be harsh because it was a shit performance. I'm going to give him a 3 because I'm sorry. You're meant to be on the set pieces for your right foot in the corners, obviously, and you weren't delivering. So you had about 5 of them, and you didn't have a single one that was decent. So I'm sorry, 3. And the thing with Trossard is I don't think if we start Trossard, he doesn't feel as effective. I don't know what it is. It feels like he has to come off the bench to feel effective in a game. But I don't want Eddie Nketiah starting anymore. So whether that means you've got to put that idiot 29 at centre forward, or you've got to put Trossard there, anything to get this guy out of the team. Because Eddie, stick him in against Burnley because that's his level. He might score another hat trick, and then the fanboys will be, oh, he's back, he's this, he's that. So maybe do it then. But for now, put Ramsdale at centre forward or something. Put me there. Put Yeti there. Put Jez there. Put TJ. Put that. Put any of us there. Just don't put this guy there anymore, man. But for me, Trossard 3. Work on your set pieces.
Pressure.
All right, Fabio Vieira. Dal.
Well, let's fill in the 2 box, TJ, because it looks a little. Just fill it out. That's all you needed to do. Just fill it out. What is there to say? Listen to fuck this. Early this season, we were saying Fabio Vieira.
Your assist.
Better than Havertz. He did a bicycle kick. Fabio Vieira is our new center attacking mid. He's so good. Oh my God. What did you not see? Fabio Vieira. Get the fuck out of my club, you
He's
teabag.
teabag, mate.
You are so. He is so bad.
He needs to bulk
it's
up.
horrendous.
I'll give him a
He's
pass.
holding Arteta's pocket like teabag did.
Get out of my club. And I'm serious. Like I said before, guys, look at every player on there. Is there really a team there? There's 4 to 5 players that we would all keep. The rest can literally just go. I'm dead serious. I'm ready for a summer clear out. I'm ready. It's time.
I mean,
Get
just
the
look at
summer clear out
the
going.
dross.
Hashtag summer clear out. Hashtag summer clear out. Get them gone. They're all shit. Why are we spending our time on players that are 3, 2, 1, and 4s? David Reyes, get them out. Ramsdale's better.
I mean, I think.
Oh no! Don't
I would
get me
say
started
you're
on
on
that.
that. You're on the Jamino.
Ramsdale's better. I will go to my grave
Ridiculous.
with
You
that. But
get on
anyway,
the. Yeah,
we're
that's one thing we
our guy
definitely
Jed.
disagree on.
Yeah, I don't agree on
yeah.
that.
Ramsdale's the
Yeah,
best.
no, I like how that's an actual point of contention between us. All right, I did put a poll in the chat for Mikel Arteta's rating, and we have 88% saying 0 to 2 and 12% saying 5 to 6.
I think it's pretty obvious what he's got in that game.
I think it's pretty easy.
I think we all know what
Jess, what do you got?
Say -0.
Jez, out of any shock or horror, what would you give Mikel Arteta for his rating? Just a shocker.
Mikel Arteta,
Yeah.
-10.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
Put it out there. Get it going. Get it going. You got to get it going. It's all about the optics.
Absolutely useless.
Fact.
Absolute. The whole team setup was rubbish, and the fact his tactics are rubbish, and the fact
He looks like Ted Bundy.
he can't make tactical substitutions at the right time. I mean, and I'm sorry, but when you're crying in a press conference, you've just completely cocked up a game of football. Man up, man. Man up. Because I'll tell you what you need, Arteta, is a big, swift kick in the bollocks. And that might make you actually realise how crap you actually are. You are a crap footballer at Arsenal, and you're a crap bloody manager. Get out the club and get out now.
Yeah, Spanish Ted Bundy is probably one of the funnier things I've heard you say, Jetty. Well, that's the player ratings, everybody. That is the player ratings segment of the game of the weekend. I just want to say big up Ellie, who's in the chat. Big up Ellie. She runs her own Spurs fan channel as well. Like to see new people in the chat.
Commiserations then. Sorry.
Yep. Exactly. And yeah, so let's talk about Yeti. Let's talk about Yeti. Let's talk about Forest.
Let's not.
Let's.
I
talk
I didn't watch that match, Yeti, so give us a summary.
Oh my days. We was amazing. Absolutely amazing today. To a man, we was absolute quality. I thought this one was going to be a tough one. But you know what? We came out, we gave it what we needed to do. And if we carry on like that for the rest of the season, that top 10 thing is totally on. We was absolutely awesome today. Absolutely awesome. Like you wasn't. But, I mean, at the end of the day, if we keep playing like that, I said it ages ago, right, that Cooper could be the next Clough. I said it ages ago on a Forest channel, and everybody laughed at me. But there is a possibility of that, 100%. And, we are, hopefully we carry on the way we was going today, because we was absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I noticed how you've actually dropped the best goalkeeper in the league in Matt Turner. That new goalkeeper looks very good. Jokes aside, that new goalkeeper, I can't pronounce his name. But
he was quality, mate.
The Greek guy.
He was very good today. Very good.
Yeah.
Dave.
I'm not surprised.
I call him Dave.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to see him getting a start over Turner. I'm not.
Turner had a stinker, didn't he? Against
Didn't he? Yeah. Didn't he come? Didn't he?
That
he
third
came from
goal was
the Portuguese
terrible.
league, right?
Yeah, no, he came from Benfica, didn't he?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But no, he's quality. He's quality. I'm not surprised to see Turner taking a spot on the bench.
That Olareino goal. Is that how you pronounce his name? Olareino, I think that's how you pronounce it. He created that.
Olarenos, yeah.
That Forest team. That was a good goal. That was a very good goal. The first goal was very good, by the way. Very good.
Oh, it's quality.
Absolute
quality.
He had all the time in the world to think about that.
Absolute quality.
He put it around the back of the net, and Martinez did not to do with it. But they created more in 4 minutes than we did in 90. Well, let alone 180 because of the game before against West Ham. Like,
yeah.
we get Steve Cooper. Do you want to swap managers? Yeah. for a week or something, 2 weeks, maybe a month, maybe 2, maybe the rest of the season.
Yeah, awesome from you who just posted that chat, but it's not Notts Forest, it's Nottingham Forest. You've got Notts County and Nottingham Forest, so it's Nottingham.
And also, your crowd is electric. I know I can only hear it on the telly, but
they're amazing.
Forest, but they were electric today, absolutely electric. You're very good.
No, I say to a man, we was quality.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this question. Yeti.
Oh, fuck.
Why is it called Notts County
Sorry about-
and then it's Nottingham Forest? Why?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's because it's like it was different. If they called themselves Nottingham County and we're Notts Forest, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It was a different thing to make it different to them. I mean, they're Clanty, to be honest, not county. But
they're the oldest professional club in Britain, aren't they? England.
Yeah, and they play like that as well.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But no, I just asked that. I didn't know. I'm not taking the piss. Honestly, I just asked.
Hey, Jez, I thought Preston was the oldest club. Preston North End.
No, it's not.
Preston North End was one of the oldest clubs.
Professional club. It's Notts County. They're the oldest.
Yeah, I mean, Notts County are the oldest club, but I mean, I don't have no issue with Notts County, to be honest. I mean, all my family in Notts County. That's why I'm Forest, because I always rebel against everything, and that's pretty much why I'm Forest. So I didn't want to be with them idiots, even though they are my family. Sorry to my family for that one, but I wanted to go a different way, and I love Nottingham Forest, so. Look, I'm not even going to, we was amazing today. Watch it back. We was absolutely amazing.
I'll have to say,
I'll go back and watch back.
Quality.
Respect where respect is due.
Mm.
Forest were very, very, very good today. Very good.
I don't want that just makes me think like I was not looking forward to seeing Aston Villa. Now I'm not looking forward to seeing Nottingham Forest away again. Whenever we go to the City Ground, we are awful. But yeah, that's a story for another time. C-Cube wants to ask how Serge Aurier is doing. What do you think, Yeti?
Yeah, he's doing absolutely fine. You didn't rate him because you're a clueless club. But he's been amazing. He's been absolutely amazing since he's joined us. And all I kept reading was from Tottenham fans saying, oh, he's useless, this, that, and the other. Clueless, man. Clueless. And that's why you're not going to win any leagues.
Tell him, Yeti. Get him on top.
Yeah, you tell him, Yeti.
Get you on top of the way.
Yep. Hey, guys,
I'll bring it to all of you. I'll bring it to all of you.
He's ready for one, man. He's ready for one.
I'm ready for it.
All right, we're going to wrap up here in the next 10 minutes, guys. Get your final questions in. I want to say thank you, obviously, to my co-hosts, Connor and Dal, for jumping on since we had to do a little bit of a delayed reaction. And obviously, Jez and Yeti, always great to have you on here. And, of course, Mama Flossie, I saw your comment earlier. You know you're always welcome here. I don't blame the tune for being the tune. I blame Arsenal for being Arsenal. So congratulations on your victory.
You know what?
Yesterday.
You haven't given me a chance to actually talk about the Arsenal game. And I'm going to say it right now, right?
Oh, boy. Here we go.
They was amazing. Toon was amazing yesterday. I don't care about how you performed or how you didn't perform or whatever like that. Big it up to the Toon because they deserved that, whether it was out or whatever. To me, it is out. Because I don't go by these new fucking settings where it's like halfway out or whatever. It's bullshit. It's bollocks. But at the end of the day, big up the Toon, man. Big up the fucking Toon. Sorry, I keep swearing.
No, it's okay.
We couldn't deal with a physical battle. It was as simple as that. We couldn't deal with a physical battle. And
they always bully us. Like that's one thing that I noticed.
That's why I was so.
What do you expect with that midfield?
Every team doesn't bully us. I don't think that's true. But I think historically, especially over the last 2 or 3 years, bar the last game that we had before this one, at St. James Park when we beat you guys 2-0. Other than that, they just bully us off the park.
That's
Like,
why
they bullied us
that,
at Emirates. They bullied us at Emirates last season.
as soon as you
was
saw that
embarrassing.
midfield, you knew exactly the
No,
way
you
that
know we were
game
done.
was
We
gonna
knew we
go.
were done.
That's the thing.
I knew we were done.
That's why I was
knew we
so
were done.
proud and impressed with the team last season, because that is such a hostile stadium to go to. And especially when Kai Havertz made that tackle, I'm not going to swear, he ruined us. Because that crowd, he was public enemy number 1 when he done that in Newcastle. He made that tackle, and that riled them up, and that riled the Newcastle players up. And what game did it remind me of when that happened?
Liverpool.
Xhaka on, yeah.
It was the Liverpool game.
Xhaka.
And, and as soon as he done that, we were on top. We were doing well. Because I do agree with you, Yeti, that I do think the better side of the night were Newcastle, definitely. Because we were. I think both
100%.
teams going forward were shocking, but they definitely won the midfield battle 100% easily. But it's just. There's always something with us. Always something. One thing.
Can I just make? I just want to call you up on something there. Newcastle fans are probably the least hostile fans I've ever met in my life. They are relentless in their support, but they are probably some of the friendliest fans I've ever met in my life. I've spent many nights. I'm not having to go at you, Connor. I'm not having to go at you.
No.
But
no, have a go at him. It makes a better stream.
No. They're actually so dedicated. Their belief is unrivaled. And I can assure you, I've spent many nights in Newcastle after games, and I had the greatest time of my life with Newcastle fans. I don't know them, never met them in my life, but you go to bars, clubs, whatever. And, you know, that is
they are brilliant.
One of the only grounds back in the day where you could actually wear your colours and you wouldn't get it put on you. I mean, Newcastle people in general are lovely, lovely, lovely people. And I've never in 30 years, 40 years of having gone to Newcastle, never had ever had a problem. They are top class people. Their love for that club is secondary to anyone.
100%.
You know, and I'm not calling you out, Connor, at all. I'm just saying they're lovely, lovely people. I've never had a problem, and I will say this to you right now, Connor, as a young man, go there. On a Saturday night, you'll have the
100%.
best scenery you'll ever see in your life, man. Seriously. And
100%.
You know,
and he's not talking just about nature.
Oh, mate.
Is he?
I'm 62, right? And even now, I can learn a lot about nature from up there. Seriously. You know,
Jez, you're not going to turn around and go, I've been around the world and I can't find my baby.
I'll tell you, this is a true story, right? 22 years ago, Arsenal were playing away at Newcastle, right? And it was horrendous, cold, snowing. It was awful, right? Didn't want to be there. Couldn't wait to get back out to the guest house we were staying at. We went into Newcastle, and I think we had a 1-1 draw, something like that. I can't remember. But what lightened the evening, and I'm not going to lie, right, is we were in this pub, big pub, and in was walking all these beautiful young ladies, skirts up behind their heads, and you're like thinking, how can you walk out when it's like -3 outside,
It's like balloons,
chill, right? And they had these like little crop tops that back in the day, you know, that used to be back in the day fashion. And I'm thinking, I've got a bloody shirt on, I've got an undershirt on, I've got my trousers on, I've got a jacket on, and these young kids are walking around like I'm thinking you must be freezing your TITSs off. And seriously, dear God, I mean, wow,
I'm glad to do it though.
I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, we all are, yeah. We
Like
all are,
you say,
mate.
you got these 18, 19-year-olds, and I'm like, at the time, how old was I? I was bloody
22.
22, 24, something like
Did you get a phone number?
Oh my god.
that. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, listen, Jez, I'll happily go to Newcastle.
Tony just booked a flight to Newcastle. DJ Crane.
I'll go to Newcastle, but I won't go for an Arsenal away day, that's for sure, because that'll ruin it. So I'll go just for.
You know, the thing is Scousers say they're the nicest people on the planet, but they are absolute pricks, to be fair.
Who?
Oh,
Scousers.
Oh, well, they're the worst, man.
yeah.
Exactly. They are absolute pricks.
Half of the Liverpool fans aren't even from Liverpool, so.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Need I say more?
I love curries. I love curries, right? And there's a place.
What, the shopping centre?
No.
The knocks with the toothless hookers.
There's a place part of Newcastle called Jesmond, named after me, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
Right. And there's a curry house there, and it's the best curry I've ever had in my life. I've been there many, many times. I've been there probably 10 times when I've been up there, and it's the best curry I've ever had in my life. Seriously, I've been to curries in Birmingham, Bradford, Manchester, London. We got a couple of good ones where I live, but that place in Jesmond.
You can tell you lost. Jez was talking about curries.
Sorry?
You can tell you lost this weekend. You're talking about curries.
We got to talk about something positive around here at some point.
Curry, man.
Curry,
It's the best I've
curry.
ever had. I'll say that. It's the best I've ever had in my life.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up here. I think Connor has to go. We've been going for about an hour and 45 minutes. If you are watching on playback, make sure that you are smashing the likes up, commenting you agree with our ratings.
Absolutely.
Say it. If you don't agree with our ratings, say it. Make sure you like the video. If you didn't like the video anyway. Don't be a dick. That's kind of our mantra here on TJ Warren TV is don't be a dick. Connor, go ahead and start.
Right, if you don't like the ratings, we don't care.
We're back again on Wednesday.
We're back again on Wednesday.
Please,
Shout out, Lee.
Yeah.
Shout out, Lee.
Right.
Connor, shout yourself out, bro.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We've had probably an average about 20, 25 viewers tonight, so really appreciate it.
Not
Thank you.
bad. Not bad with everybody and their mothers streaming too. Not
Yeah,
bad.
exactly. Thanks, Jez and Yeti, for coming on as always. We moved
No problem.
Wednesday. Jesus, I'm not even looking forward to that. Do you know what? Maybe I'm looking at. Maybe actually I can't say that. I was about to say I'm looking forward to the international break. I'm not. But yeah, we moved to Wednesday. I mean, we're still going to be the same team. We've still got the injuries unless Odegaard somehow comes back. I don't know what's happened to him, by the way. We talk about Partey. I don't know what's happened to Odegaard. He probably drove the bus to Brighton by mistake, or Bournemouth, whatever it was. But yeah, probably did. So we'll see. But we go to Wednesday, and hopefully we can still keep top of our Champions League group. But thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll probably be on the match reaction for Wednesday.
I think Bournemouth hoped they was playing the under-18s when they turned up.
Only Arsenal. Only Arsenal, man.
Only at Arsenal. Dal,
What's
shout yourself out, my bro. Thank you again for coming on, as usual.
thanks again, TJ.
You're my co-host with the most.
I try. I'm still learning. Shout out everyone in the chat. Thanks, everyone. What's up, TJ? You're making me blush. We have Jazz and Yeti and Connor and everybody gather around today. Today has been an interesting day. I think we all have our different views and so forth, but I think we're all similar at the same time. We know we didn't play well, but maybe we can galvanize something for Wednesday. I'm not extremely hopeful, but maybe there's something to look forward to till Wednesday. But other than that, it's just been an eventful weekend, and definitely check out my OnlyFans. Carl's my first sub. Thanks, Carl.
Fuck. Jesus, now.
Weirdo. Anyway, Thank
It's
you,
just
TJ.
Dal. It's just Dal in his garage listening to music. That's all it is.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Keep the shirt on. Yeah. Anyway, thanks again, everyone, for joining us today. Could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. So, yeah. Big up, everyone.
Big up, big up. Jez, shout your channel out, man. The best channel, the best Arsenal channel on YouTube. Let's just be real with it.
I know about that, man. But yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on again, as always. It's always a pleasure to come on with you chaps. Yeah, Arsenal history and more. All kinds of crap I talk about. Get great people on like you guys. And we just chew the fat. We are the real ones. We don't talk bullshit. I'm just going to say, Tuesday night, I'm doing the realist one. A lot of people have asked me to do some history stuff about this particular setup. And I'm doing the Arsenal history about the firms, the Herd and the Gooners. How did it all come about? How did it start? What was it all around? And that'd be a good show, guys. Come and watch that, because I think you'll learn a lot about what really went on, and the bad days, but also the good days of what that was around. I have spoken, and I'll put this out there. This is a disclaimer. I was never, ever part of any of it. All right? Never part of it. But
That's what someone says when there was.
and I've spoken to a couple of guys. I still meet up. I still have dealings with. And I said to them, look, if I was to do this, would it offend you guys? And they said, nah, don't worry about it, Jez. It's too long ago, man. And so, as long as I got their respect and they're okay, then I'm not mentioning any names apart from two that I'm allowed to, and they've said, yeah, it's okay, man. I actually did try and get them come on, but they're not up for it, and they said, no, we're just not into that. And so, fair play, respect. And
well, the police might watch it, so they probably shouldn't come on, to be honest.
Nah, it's too long ago, man. Too long ago. I mean, you know, they're damn near in their 70s now.
Fucking
You know what I mean? But yeah, that'd be a good show. Come and join, have a watch.
All right. No, thanks, Jez. I will definitely be in the chat for that one. That's gonna be awesome. I'm a absolute history nerd, so I can't wait to listen to that. Yeti, shout yourself out, my man. You're almost. You're at 100 yet? Aren't you? Are you? Like
I've got 92. I've got 92.
92.
Another one today.
Carl,
I had
put
a massive,
Yeti's
awesome
link in the chat right now, please.
I had a massive, awesome watch along earlier on. Yeah, I love the watch alongs. They're absolute gold. I did one last night where I was playing a game, and then I went to a blank screen just talking to people. I had 13, 14 people in the chat, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you, thank you, TJ, for having me on here. You know, anytime. I mean, I know we have arguments and you never win them, but you know, you still keep going, and I appreciate your effort.
I think that's subjective, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can think it's subjective, but I think it's fact. But so we'll not go into that. But yeah, long-eared Yeti's Cave. Come in, we'll have a chat. I'll always get into the chat as well. Big up to all you guys as well. Make sure you like this stream. Make sure you subscribe to this guy, because he's an awesome guy. He's a shit arguer, but you know, he is a good guy. But so make sure you subscribe to him. I apologise for the fact that Arsenal was shit this weekend, but that's just the way it goes, I suppose. So yeah, long-eared Yeti's Cave. Always be real. Always be fucking mental or whatever. I mean, I did a stream earlier, and then I was talking at the end of it, and then I just went by because I had nothing else. So yeah, whatever.
So
Cheers,
bye. All right, no, I did. Hey, that's cool. That's perfectly acceptable. DJ Crane,
I love you
AKA
all.
Tony.
Bye.
Yeah, there you go. You can't copy people, TJ. You can get banned. See you Wednesday. Big up the world class panel legends in the chat. TUC cubed and love guys. Love Tony. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it, man. thank you for the $5 super chat. And again, thank you earlier to my guy, Carl Rossi, for the super chat as well. Any super chats, of course, go straight to supporting
Can I
this
just
channel, guys.
say?
Yeah, go
Can
for
I
it.
just say one more thing because I forgot
Of
it
course.
because I always do that when I'm always going on, then I forget what I'm on about.
Go for it.
If you've got any issues or anything like that, my name is Longhaired Yeti, which it is anyway. But he's Longhaired Yeti on Instagram. If you need to contact somebody, if you're having any issues or anything like that, contact me, man. I'll try and help you out.
Big up to you,
Right.
man. Big up, mate.
Big up to Yeti every single time. One of the realest on YouTube, and we may argue. I think we come to conclusive draws during our arguments, but
yeah, there's no
Yeti is
draws,
one of the
mate.
greatest
There's
guys.
no draws.
One
It's a
of
win
the
for me every
greatest,
time.
one of the greatest guys on YouTube.
It's a
really,
win
really
for me
nice
every
guy.
time.
Oh gosh, it depends
I
on how you look at
appreciate your
things, I
effort,
guess.
mate.
It's all right. It's all
I
right.
tell you one thing, TJ.
Here we
I
go.
want to ask you, right? You know, Adam Johnson. Have you seen the Adam Johnson thing in Nottingham where he's got his throat cut and he died?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah. What do you think of that video? Because I think he actually did that on purpose.
on
That was
purpose.
like a
was
fucking
on
martial art. That was a martial
So,
arts kick. That was.
What?
I
That
was.
on
I
I
was
don't think he
playing.
meant to kill him. I don't
Did
think he
Adam
meant to
Johnson
kill
play
him.
for City?
No, this is
No,
No,
this
no.
is
not Adam
this is
Johnson.
England.
No,
This is
that's
ice.
not-
This is ice
Okay.
hockey. So yeah, Adam Johnson. He used to play for the Pittsburgh Penguins back in the day, and then he fell out of professional hockey in America, and he went to England to keep playing and make his bag, right? And he was recently, unfortunately, killed due to taking a skate across the throat on a player that got upended, and his skate went right across.
No way.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
time.
Terrible.
So incidents like
Terrible.
that have happened before. It's just they got the medical attention in time to where it wasn't. They were able to.
Do you think it was
repair
a
the
martial
aorta.
arts kick?
I don't think it was a martial arts
I don't
kick.
think he meant
I
to
really
do
don't.
that, but
I don't think he meant to do that, but I think that especially in those, like, no offense, sorry, the lower leagues of English hockey, like, sorry, England is not a bastion of ice hockey.
oh yeah, we are
I
very
think
low
you're gonna
league.
get freak accidents like that happen when players don't know how to control themselves when they get upended like that. And I played hockey for 15 years. I go end over end like that. And if your skates are, you are responsible for your body in hockey. That is how it goes.
Yeah,
You're
of course you are.
responsible for every bit
Yeah.
of equipment, every bit of whatever. So I don't know. I could see how people might think that, but it's also extremely difficult to control yourself when you're getting upended like that. So
But he kind of took the
understand-
guy and ordered the guy before he did the kick to give
Yeah.
him, you know, to me, it's not an unbalanced thing. But
I understand the view. I just think that it deserves investigation. That's all I'm going to say. Is it deserves investigation. I don't necessarily think he did. I don't think necessarily think he did it on purpose, but that's just me.
Oh no, he didn't mean to kill him, but I think he did actually the kick on purpose.
He didn't need to
Yeah.
do what.
To be honest,
I think he done it out of
no,
anger.
he didn't. He didn't.
Because at the end of the day, your skates are meant to be on the ice. Like,
Mm.
they're meant to be
Well,
that-
you get upended like that. You get upended like
You
that,
do
Connor.
get
Sometimes it's hard to do it.
upended, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
You do
It's-
get
it's
on
hard to
one
do.
leg, but the way he does it is he goes in and then he sort of leans on the next guy, and it's kind of a UFC kick, to be honest. But anyway, this is about football, so forget that.
Yeah.
I'll just-
Well, we could talk about in any sports on here, to be honest, especially as we're wrapping up. But yeah, no, it's a really tough situation. I feel terrible for his family and his friends. There were a lot of
yeah, R.I.P. to
there were a
Adam
lot-
Johnson.
Adam Johnson. There were a lot of tributes in the United States when he passed. So it's
which
terrible
was
situation.
amazing.
But yeah.
Amazing.
All right, guys. Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. This has been TJ Warren TV, the Newcastle Arsenal match reaction. Bigger fish to fry
Up the Reds!
on Wednesday, I guess. Jeez, I can't believe it. Yeah, up the Reds, I guess. I'm trying to think of
So
what
you
I
lost that
got.
argument as well.
Yeah, I will. I will concede. I will concede that argument. I will concede that argument. Catch me tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I believe we're going live at 2 a.m. I can't believe it's late. It's a 2 a.m. stream. American Waffle. Me, Jacob Walraven from United Spurs of America, and Staffy from Staffy TV. That'll be my next stream. And then catch us after the Sevilla Champions League game at home for the match reaction. Connor's already looking forward to it. I can tell. Come on, you Gunners. Let's go.
Come on, you four.